some people in the room. Ooh, hold on, I'll be right back. Move. Hey y'all. Waiting on some people in the room. People in the room, so I'm just gonna get into it then. So Africa Bambaataa has passed away, and too bad his legacy was destroyed. You know, because he, was a what did they say that? How they say that on there? A pedo, a P4 files or whatever. But let me look up Hassan Campbell because he said something about it. I'm gonna start out with him. Oh, actually, he live talking about it. Hey, what's up? So Africa Bambaataa has passed. Let's see what he said. Just want to take the time out to say rest in peace to the greatest child predator who ever walked this earth. Africa Bambaataa. So Hassan Campbell finally reacts to the passing away of Africa Bambaataa, his abuser. So y'all know Hassan Campbell, man. Hey, not enough cats. How are you? So y'all know he's been abused for a very long time by Africa Bambaataa, but he really didn't do nothing. Now Africa Bambaataa, he pretty much passed away, and the cause of death as of now, they say he passed away from cancer at 67. So one of the newspaper articles goes on to say, according to a report from TMZ, Bambaataa died from complications of cancer in Pennsylvania on Thursday. The artist's real name, Lance Taylor, was born in 1957. I'm gonna get off on that, but I wanted to see because actually Hassan Campbell is live now. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have went live because I wanted to hear what he had to say. So I'm gonna go into his live. Go hard or go home. And super violate that like button. It don't cost you nothing. I like Hassan Campbell. Shall we begin? Shall we? The details of what he did because you done blacked out. Because of the hurtful pain, the hurtful thoughts, the hurtful memories. How do you tell a nigga to rest in peace? Right. I got people walking in misery. Facts. He can sleep in peace while we live in pain. Right. It's a cold world. Oh, it's definitely a cold world. Love don't live here. It absolutely don't live here. When you can see people out there actually taking shots at you and not him. Talking about what he contributed to hip hop. What has hip hop contributed to the black community? Now you saying something. You saying something, Hassan. But Hassan Campbell was a victim of Africa Bambaataa. That's why I want to start out with him. Then I'm gonna read because they're saying he father hip hop and all this and that, but his legacy is destroyed. What has hip hop contributed to the black community? Facts. The door, the selfish door. So whereas when a nigga walk through that door and he's successful, then he walks through another door. He doesn't reach back and grab his friends and family and say, "Yo, I'm gonna slip y'all in through the side door." Facts. No. Facts. I had to get it through the mud. So you gonna have to get it through the mud too. Come on. Come on, Hassan. Hey, Faison. Hey. Went on through them doors. I didn't sign up for those industry rituals. I'm not a rapper. They say, well, hey, Valerie. Africa Bambaataa is gonna outweigh the bad. It's impossible. Fact, especially for a pedophile. Oh. Yeah, I gotta get my cigarette. Who stayed in poverty and pain because he grew up in an era when it was crack babies, kids that had problems at home. They were runaways. And this same man that was supposed to be saving them from the horrors that was going on in their homes introduced them to a totally new horror and had a whole community behind him to back him. That man violated thousands. We ain't talking about thousands of young boys. Thousands. Of young boys. Facts. Of little kids. Facts. Now, put yourself in my shoes, right? So, what's supposed to happen at his funeral? See, that's what I was thinking, Hassan. I was thinking the same thing. Norma, Bronx River, all of y'all that work at the center. So what happens? Norma, you gonna let Africa Bambaataa have his last dance to the projects? The home of hip hop? You use that same community center to funnel and traffic little boys back up to those apartments in the projects. Damn. Back up to that apartment that his mother used to live in Mark Terrace over by Co-op City. Back into that house that he had up in Connecticut. No. Maybe, some of the older Zoom members is going to reach out to you so everybody can say their final goodbyes. As if that nigga ain't doing enough to Bronx River. But why should I care? I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm the same dude that went to Bronx River, teary-eyed, throwing a tantrum for that same community to hear my voice. And stood outside until the shooters came and got shot. I just wanted to hear a little bit of what Hassan Campbell had to say since he was a victim of Africa Bambaataa. He destroyed his legacy. So let's get into it. So they saying he had cancer. He died of cancer. According to a report from TMC, Bambaataa died from complications of cancer in Pennsylvania today. That was the jam. I was in high school when I was out. We can only play a snippet of that. So let me get off of that YouTube. I'm trying to get to the article. Oh, here we go. We going to the Guardian. He died in Philadelphia at around 3 a.m. due to complications from cancer. The Hip Hop Alliance, a group headed by musician Curtis Blow, wrote, "Today we acknowledge the transition of a foundational architect of hip hop culture, Afrika Bambaataa, as the founder of the Universal Zulu Nation. Afrika Bambaataa helped shape the early identity of hip hop as a global movement rooted in peace, unity, love, and having fun." While he was messing with them young boys. Wow. The group acknowledged the allegations of child sexual abuse made against the singer. At the same time, we recognize that his legacy is complex and has been a subject of serious conversations within our community. As an organization committed to truth, accountability, and the preservation of hip hop culture, we believe it is important to hold space for all voices while continuing to uplift what empowers and protects the people. The Bronx native played a key role in shaping hip hop in the 1980s, notably with the 1982 hit Planet Rock. Oh, that was the jam, man. We party on that. He collaborated with a range of artists, including John London, George Clinton, and James Brown. Born Lance Taylor, he formed the hip hop collective Universal Zulu Nation in the late 1970s, inspired by father hip hop DJ Kool Herc, as well as the solidarity of the Zulu people of southern South Africa. In '82, Bambaataa began playing electronic music as part of the group Ibn Ozine. He was inspired by European electronic groups such as Kraftwerk. Oh my God, I was in middle school. I love Kraftwerk music. Oh my God, the German band that he famously labeled in Planet Rock. The single became a club hit and helped to establish electronic funk. Hey, Glenda, as a genre. In 1985, he helped create the landmark album Sun City as part of the Artists United Against Apartheid, a group of musicians who teamed up to protest apartheid in South Africa. Other musicians involved, including Bob Dylan, Bono, Bruce Springsteen, Joey Ramone, Run DMC, Lou Reed, and Bonnie Raitt. Bambaataa continued releasing albums throughout the following decades. In 1986, he collaborated with Melly Mill and Trouble Funk. He released his final album, Dark Matter, Moving at a Speed of Light in 2004. You're right, Brian. I still have it. You're right. In later life, the musician was accused of child sexual abuse and trafficking. In 2016, multiple Bronx men accused Bambaataa of molestation. The musician denied the accusations in a statement, saying they are baseless and are cowardly attempts to tarnish his reputation and legacy in hip hop. That was true, especially Ron Savage, and he wrote that book. And the way Ron Savage cried in that first interview, I'll never forget it. It is true. Right, Brian, it is beeping. I'd like you to come over here and change it. I can't reach it. A man who said he was the former bodyguard for Bambaataa Sharif Bey, I walked in on some stuff where I say, what the fuck is going on? He travels with late teens. Those are the ones he takes overseas with him. When I went with him on a tour in the States, I would stay in one room and he would have boys in the room with him. In May 2025, an infamous anonymous plaintiff accused Bambaataa of 4 years of sexual abuse, which started in 1992 when the plaintiff was 12. The musician lost that civil case. Yep, and I reported on that too, by default after he failed to appear in court. And he could have had a great legacy. Let me see what TMZ said. He died of cancer. He joined the local gang, the Black Spades, quickly rising up in the ranks in the gang to the position of warlord. This was in the 70s. I never knew that. In the 70s, he began hosting parties where hip hop flourished, which quickly grew to become a huge block parties in the South Bronx. He released his first single in 1980 titled Zulu Nation Throwdown, a reference to the Universal Zulu Nation. Then he came out with Planet Rock, which was the jam. Oh my God, I was dancing to that. Let me see what they said. Oh, you know what? Let me see what they got on here. Let me get back to Hassan Campbell. We going back to Hassan Campbell. Let's get back to Hassan Campbell. Came out, or I don't want to hear them screams. But in the real world, y'all think it's funny? Oz. Because he was a victim. You know how that made me feel? I'm not even getting into the details because some of the things I'm just not repeating. But instead of him stepping to me and having a conversation like a man, whichever way he wanted to go with it, I was cool with it. But you know the crazy part about it is, nevertheless, this was a nigga that I looked up to. Really, really looked up to this nigga. How do I feel? There's people that I will never speak to again. I know it was the Jenny's 60th birthday party. This week in past, I see the pictures I put up. And I see Mr. Biggs. Biggs act like he don't see me. My question to you, Mr. Biggs, Dyrone, see both of them. Y'all know what that man did. Y'all know that I'm telling the truth. So how you hate me because of my truth? Right, that part. And then how y'all call these men, real niggas, stand-up men, when for years, these men were looking in the opposite direction while that man was having his way with all those little boys. There's people that I haven't spoken to since all of this happened that I was close with. I'm sitting back watching. This shit is overwhelming. I'm seeing people say rest in peace to Bambaataa, who's supposed to be like family to me. And I'm like, ooh, oh shit. What? I had to lay down. I had to take a nap. Sat to lay down and still couldn't even sleep. Choking in my sleep like the devil was just choking me. I lost a lot of people by taking a stand. And then the worst part about it is when you see people coming out of the woodwork making videos about you that don't even know you, periodically there's always somebody new that gets and they get burnt out after a while. Now you got this new kid, he don't even know my struggle, my pain, my hustle, no nothing. All he knows is that Zip put him up to put lies out about me. Because everybody wants the number one spot. When the truth of the matter is, there is no number one spot in YouTube. Because either you create your own lane or you don't.
Facts.
I created my lane. And
Facts.
everybody wants the top spot in a lane that I created. That's it.
Facts. Facts.
And then you sit back, you know what it feels like? I'm looking at this kid. I don't even know him. I blocked the nigga because I didn't want to see his videos. So once I see little stuff, niggas start like doing little things and playing with your family. So now I unblock the nigga because people send me screenshots to see what's going on. And the first thing I look at, Instagram tells you who ain't shit. Instagram tells you that the people around you ain't shit. Because the first thing it shows is people that you know in real life, not that you met on the internet. They like it, share it, and subscribe it. They don't follow niggas on Instagram that they don't even know from a hole in the wall. All they know is this person is your new enemy. And it just added on to their numbers. How real is that? How do I feel? Like a motherless child.
Wow. Wow.
I think y'all understand the shit that I went through with my mom because of all of this. She had to carry the burden of people talking about her as if she wasn't a decent mom. She did what she could in a time where she had to survive the crack era herself.
Come on. Come on.
She had to survive the crack era in the dope era.
Facts. Facts. Come on, son.
And you have parents that put their trust in that man in the community, and he did what predators do.
Facts.
I guess he do get to sleep in peace while in a nightmare. I fought so hard to bring awareness to child victims before this Epstein list even came out. Before Diddy was running through the hallway whipping that girl Cassie out.
You did.
Before R. Kelly went to jail and did this big.
You did. I give you that.
And people along the way, oh, why you don't talk about Afrika Bambaataa no more? Because y'all turned me into the laughing stock. Oh, he got died. It became a slogan, a joke. Like, wow.
It did.
Since when did child rape become funny?
Right. That part.
When did black men think that anything was funny? I've never seen a dude in jail get his manhood this is in a cell laughing. Even in jail, niggas don't want to hear them screams.
Damn.
Even in jail, niggas don't want to hear them screams. But in the real world, y'all think it's funny? Black people have become our own colonizer. We do not care about each other at all.
Nope, we don't.
Black people have become our own colonizer. When we can see each other hurting and it's funny.
Facts. That's a fact. I'm gonna show his first victim that came out, Ron Savage. Let me his first victim who came out, then Hassan came out, Ron Savage. Beast, and he would want to be a hip hop beast singer. And it was Sinetta who did it. Damn, let me see. Ah, yep, it was Sinetta. Mm-mm-mm. Damn, and he came out. Rest in peace. We love you. Wow. Wow. Let me see Ron Savage. Let me go Sinetta. Ron Savage, Sinetta. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Yep, here you go. I got it. I got it. I got it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is Ron Savage, the first victim that came out.
My name is Ronald Savage, and I was molested by Afrika Bambaataa. Afrika Bambaataa is the founding father of hip hop. He's the co-founder of the Universal Zulu Nation. He's done tons of records like Planet Rock, Looking for the Perfect Beat. I met him when I was 14. When I was in the ninth grade, I was cut in one day, and I called Afrika Bambaataa, and because I didn't have nowhere to go, so I went up to his house. He paid the cab, and I was in the living room. Another gentleman was there, and like they was DJing, and Bam told me that I could go into his bedroom because the TV was on. So I went to the bedroom, and I was in there, and I said I was in the bedroom no more than 3-4 minutes, and Bam took out his penis, and he started jerking it, and he told me that for me to take mine out, and at that time I didn't really understand what jerking was, so he was telling me, oh, that everybody does it. He unzipped my pants, and he took it out, and he started jerking it, and then he put my hand on it, and then started making me jerk it. And he left the room, and the guy that was in the living room, he came into the room, and when he came into the room, his thing was already out, and I got up to bed, and I left. Another time, Dad came to my house. The thing that really stayed in my mind and really freaked me out is I had to lay on the bed, and I had to cross my legs, and he would put his penis in between my legs and then pump up and down.
That's the same shit Hassan Campbell said he did. They are not lying. But this is his legacy in his death.
I remember at the time I had this big guy like one day, and from that time I broke down. I'm not gonna lie, like it confused me, like, cause I had never had sex before in my life. No one's never touched me like that, and to be touched, my first time being touched was by a man. During the course of growing up, I told like my close friends what happened to me because at that time I didn't know who to trust. You know, I didn't feel safe because they all used to come to my house, like the Zulu Nation Council and BAM. So I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know if I told was something gonna happen to me, was something gonna happen to my sister, to my mother, you know. So I just held it in. I used to keep it bottled up. And during the course with my girlfriends and stuff like that, their thing was that I didn't know how to show affection. So I used to blame myself for that because I didn't know how to show affection. And when I'm having sex, it would stay hard and then go back down because when I'm having sex, I would think about Bambaataa and then go down. And, you know, that's the things that the girlfriends didn't like. And I blame myself for that. And I tried to commit suicide about that because I was always wishing that didn't happen to me. And I always was wondering if that didn't happen to me, like, would I be able to perform the right way? For the time after that, I found myself just not trusting people, especially when I got in cars, like with my other guy friends. It was on my mind was, are they going to do this too? And I swear to God, that still stays with me now. I'm not looking for any compensation from Afrika Bambaataa. That's not what this is about. I never asked them for money. I never was seeking money from them. The only thing I wanted was for this man to answer my question, why me? You know, that's my justice for myself because I just wanted to know why me. My reasons for coming forth is I feel that something needs to happen because if it took me this long to come out and people are now telling me, oh, you know, it's nothing that can be done because of the statute of limitations. I feel that the statute of limitations should be longer, or if not, done away with. It took me till 50 to be comfortable
50
to talk about it, to let it out. So I feel that how can people put limitations on something you've never been through? No.
And that's a fact. Me being a victim of child molestation too, I didn't tell anybody till I was 28 years old. You do hold that. You hold it. Some people hold it until they death. You hold it until you able, comfortable to come to terms with what happened to you as a child.
You haven't experienced the pain, the suffering that I went through.
Facts.
Since a young teen up until now. And then for it to be told that I have up until 21 or 23 to report it, that's totally unfair. Because at that age, I had just told my parents. I wasn't ready to tell the world.
And that's a fact. As a victim, you do hold that. You do hold. Oh, you know what? I was on YouTube. Let me get back to YouTube.
Okay, so you've always seen Bambaataa around, but then was it around?
Now this is Hassan Campbell.
Got sort of involved in Zulu Nation, started spending more time. Yeah. Okay. And what really led you doing that? Well, see, growing up in Bronx River and being a part of the Zulu Nation, you had a lot of warriors that was part of the Zulu Nation. It was guys that you really, really looked up to, and you wanted to be a part of them. It's almost sort of like the gang culture that's going on right now, but the difference was you had some killers in the Zulu Nation. You had some break dancers in the Zulu Nation. You had some rappers. Every once in a while you would see LL Cool J. You would see Ice-T. You would see everybody. So it's like now you got the. It's like right now going around Lil Wayne and Young Thug and all these younger ones right now. The kids is gonna go crazy. So now when you see, because it wasn't just so much about Africa Bambaataa, it was about the family. Everybody in Bronx River was part of the Zulu Nation. Our parents grew up in the Zulu Nation, and it was the older generations. And now you get to see the warriors, and you just wanted to be a part of that. I want him to get to it.
Did it turn into just an innocent relationship to something going wrong?
Yeah, where do I start with that? It's him being in the house, coming with the tapes, the VCR, the Vaseline, the porn, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting weird. Like I'll give you an example with one day when me and Eric was there, and we in the office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we in that room, and it's a weight bench in there, and me and Eric, we working out. We on the bench pressing. Man comes in the room. He got the Polaroid camera, and now he's convincing us. Oh, look at those muscles. So now he gassing us up to take our shirt off so we could flex our muscles. And when he walked out of the room and he started doing the clicking, with the camera. Me and Eric, we looked at each other, and it was like, yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes with Arnold and Dudley? And it was the same situation with them, So that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
Okay. At what point did he actually start to molest you, though, after showing you?
Yeah, absolutely.
At that point, you started actually.
He follows you in the bathroom. Now when you go in the bathroom, he got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Wow. Then he comes with the young men is supposed to jerk off, and then he leaves his room door open with porn playing, and he might walk out, and then just after you sitting there, and then he leaves you with the porn playing. Then he turns around, and this is how he really he's bombed out, and you realize how sick he really is, especially when you think back. Now he has books, and in those black books, people you never think that you would ever even expect is in those books, butt ass naked. And when you look at those books, you're actually looking at stair steps of the older generation before you in those books, and him catching all these guys at a young age.
Okay, are these people that we know about these days?
Well, some of them probably. And I know in the past I done threw names out, and I said I'm gonna try my best not to really call people out, but in the streets, like yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, it's like this in Bronx River, and a lot of people don't want to admit it. One day, there was a fight, and I said this in my video that Star had put up. One day there was a fight going on. I believe it was a Roy Jones fight, and it was like 50 dudes inside the apartment watching the fight. So when I come in, I'm the last one to come into the fight. So somebody said to me, they was like, all right, Bam done tried everybody in this room
Damn.
I stopped laughing. I started laughing with him, but later on, I was like deep in thought, like, this nigga got me. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that, in Brooms River, if there's 10 people in a room, Bam got 7 of them. I mean, look, if you're gay, especially if you're a celebrity, you could find a boyfriend or you could find a man that's willing to do things with you. You know, I mean, being a celebrity puts you in a different kind of place when it comes to relationships. Why do you think that he was focusing on young kids as opposed to just finding someone who's 18 or older? Because that's the whole key to it. It's like I tell people all the time, when that man go to sleep at nighttime, he doesn't have a boyfriend that he's going to sleep with. It's always a child. And I'm not going to say that he's not into, grown men. But the reality of it is, his history, his timeline, it's always been little boys. He's always kept little boys around him, sort of like Michael Jackson. There's always little boys around.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Rest in hell, Afrika Bambaataa. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button.